Divided over cutting deal to end shutdown, by Alexander Bolton. Senate Democrats are divided over whether Republicans have offered enough to reach a deal to end the government shutdown this week. Several centrist Democrats are signaling to their Republican colleagues that an agreement could be reached in the next few days. But other Senate Democrats warn that reopening the government without a real concession from President Trump on extending the expiring health insurance premium subsidies, or at least a stronger gesture of good faith from the president, would be a big mistake. Democrats are getting closer with Republicans on an agreement to put the regular appropriations process back on track, a strong Democratic priority, but the two sides have not made much progress on rising health care costs, the biggest sticking point. Senate Republican negotiators said Monday that the talks could be on the cusp of reaching a deal, but some centrist Democrats warn that Trump's failure to show serious interest in the health care issue is raising a red flag. I do believe we are finally making progress. It is too soon to declare that this nightmare of a shutdown is over, but I am very cautiously hopeful that it will be resolved by the end of this week, Senator Susan Collins, Republican from Maine, told reporters as she left the Capitol Monday evening. There is more specificity in what is being sought, and in addition, I get the impression that for some Democrats, waiting until after Tuesday's election is an issue, she said. She said Democrats are facing the reality of people losing food stamps toward the middle of the month, and of women with infants not being able to get money from the WIC program, and low-income individuals losing access to vital heating assistance. Collins said she wants the Senate to advance a new stopgap spending bill, known as a continuing resolution CR, that would fund the government through December 19th, an acknowledgement that the end date of the House-passed CR, November 21st, is now less than 3 weeks away. Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Republican from South Dakota, on Monday also indicated he was looking for a longer time frame for a CR, likely into January. Senate Republicans need at least 8 votes to reopen the government. So far they have only had support from 3 members of the Democratic caucus. Sens. John Fetterman, D. Pennsylvania, Catherine Cortez Masto, Democrat from Nevada, and Angus King, Maine, an independent who caucuses with Democrats. Retiring Senator Gary Peters, Democrat from Michigan, a key player in the talks among moderate Democrats to reopen the government, said the discussions are making more progress than a few days ago, and highlighted bipartisan support on the Senate Appropriations Committee for advancing the 2026 spending bills. We are trying to figure out a way to open the government and accomplish the things we want to accomplish. We are going to keep doing that, he said. I would say there is progress being made. I will leave it at that. Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat from Arizona, a prominent centrist who is in the middle of the talks, however, said Trump has not done enough to show he is serious about health care to finalize a deal to reopen the government. Asked whether flight delays across the country mean it is time to open the government, Kelly indicated that Democrats would support a funding bill at the time the president gets engaged, and we have a real negotiation about what to do to deal with these rising costs. I am seeing things across the country from people I went to high school with who are not going to be able to afford their health care, he said. Kelly said he was surprised that Trump did not seem more attuned to the problem of rising health care costs in Republican and Democratic-led states alike. He did not seem to care all that much about it, he said of Trump's interview with CBS's 60 Minutes, which aired Sunday night. He said Trump absolutely needs to do more to reach a deal this week, adding he should be talking to us. Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat from Connecticut, warned Monday that Democratic colleagues should not vote to reopen the government without a real win on keep health insurance premiums in check. Murphy, who returned to Washington late Monday afternoon after spending the day in Miami listening to voters' fears about rising health care costs, warned that people are going to die unless Democrats push Republicans to do something significant on health care costs. Shutdowns I hurt, but the pain that I just heard in Florida is going to be worse than anything happening with the shutdown. Because when those premiums go up by 100 to 200%, those people's lives are ruined. People will die, he said. My sense is people out there want us to fight. An NBC poll released Monday showed that 52% of registered voters nationwide think Trump and congressional Republicans are more to blame for the 35-day shutdown, while 42% say that Democrats are more to blame. The survey also found that voters prefer Democrats over Republicans in the battle for control of Congress by 8 points, 50% to 42%, the largest lead on the generic ballot since 2018, which bolsters Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer's New York argument that shutting down the government over rising health care costs is a political winner. Schumer on Monday blasted Trump, for not acknowledging the heavy financial burdens put on millions of Americans because of rising health care costs, which will only rise after enhanced subsidies under the Affordable Care Act expire. If you watched Donald Trump this weekend on 60 Minutes, you saw a president utterly dismissive of the pain his policies have caused working people, Schumer said on the Senate floor. Trump has not made the path to a deal to reopen government any easier by calling on Senate Republicans to eliminate the filibuster, a long-held Senate tradition, to get around Democratic opposition to a clean House-passed continuing resolution. And the president has not budged from his refusal to negotiate any concessions on expiring health insurance premium subsidies, declaring on CBS Sunday that he will not be extorted. Democrats have more breathing room to negotiate a deal to reopen the government after the Trump administration told a judge Monday that it used some contingency funding to pay 50% of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, benefits during the shutdown. Another key event this week will be Tuesday's gubernatorial elections in New Jersey and Virginia, where the Democratic candidates are leading. Some Senate Democrats think they can declare a political victory if their party carries both states by claiming they successfully highlighted Republican opposition to extending health care benefits. But Democrats will have little else to point to as gains from the shutdown, other than what Thune has offered for several weeks: a vote on a bill to extend the enhanced subsidies under the Affordable Care Act and a process for negotiating longer-term health care reform with Trump and GOP leaders in Congress. Murphy, a potential candidate for president in 2028, said if Democrats do as well as they expect in the New Jersey and Virginia elections Tuesday, it would be a sign to dig in and fight hard. I think it is pretty clear, and I think Tuesday's results may confirm this: the American people want us to fight for them, he said.